Trying to be succinct. Succinct? Succinct, is that a word? I don't even know. Succinct. Is that a word? I don't know. Trying to be concise. Let's use the word concise. Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be sharing with you some tips for travelling solo around the world, and obviously I'm a female, so they're kind of tips for travelling solo for male and for female, but being a female you do have to be a little bit more careful, so I'm just going to share with you some tips that I've learned personally whilst I was travelling. Tip number one is plan ahead. Now I actually don't really like planning ahead because I don't like having a plan. I like the idea that you can just book a flight and go wherever you want, do whatever you want. I love that. But when you're travelling alone, I do think you need a plan, because if you don't, you could end up somewhere where you don't know where you are, you don't know what's going on, in a bad situation. So my whole trip that I did was actually completely planned. If I was going to do it again, I would keep a lot of things more open, but that's because I've been before. So if it's your first time, or if you're a little bit nervous about it, I would definitely say plan ahead. First thing I would say is, if you're arriving somewhere, arrive in the day. That is kind of common sense, because you don't want to arrive at night when it's dark, you don't know where you're going, there's not many people to ask where to go if you're stuck. Another thing I would say is book a room for your first night. So go on booking.com or Hostelworld or Hostel Bookers or Airbnb or whatever and just book your first night. If you're travelling alone, I would say book a dorm room, because you're going to walk into a room full of loads of other people who are probably travelling alone as well, so they want to meet other people. If you book a room where you're on your own, you're limiting your chances to meet other people. So yeah, I would say book a dorm room. If you're a female and you're worried about sharing with males, there is female only dorm rooms, so book one of them. Personally, I don't mind sharing with males. I had no bad experiences. So once you've booked your room, I would research how to get there. So say you're getting a train to the next place, I would make sure you know how you're going to get from that train to your hostel, because you don't want to be walking around the streets holding a map, you don't want to look lost, you want to look confident, you want to look like you know where you're going. So I would just research how to get there, whether it's by a bus, whether it's by a train, whether it's walking. Just know where you're going. Sometimes it's good to get lost. I enjoy getting lost and walking around and looking for places, as long as it's in the daytime. Never ever get lost at night. That would be a very big no-no. Now, once you've reached the hostel and you've got your first night booked, this is where you can just do what you want now. Go and meet people, just be free, but you know you're in a safe place, you're there, you're sorted. So tip number two is say hi, and it seems like the most obvious thing to say, but sometimes you go into a hostel and you feel a bit shy and you don't really know whether to say hi to people. But a big tip is just walk in and just say hello. Just say hello to everybody. When you walk into that hostel room, go in, say hi, introduce yourself. I'm Megan. What's your name? Where are you from? Blah blah blah. You get into the typical traveller conversation. Where are you from? Where have you been? Where are you going? Yeah. If you get on a bus, just say hi. Just say hi to everyone on the bus. Just say hi to everyone, and yeah, there's not much else I can say about that. Just be hi. Don't be high, that's not a good idea. So say hi. So this leads on to tip number three, which is be open and be confident. After you've said hi to people, your conversation will move on, and just ask them what they've been up to since they've been there, what they're doing for the day. If they're going out for the day, ask them if you can go with them, and they will probably, most people are going to say yes. Or if you've got a plan for the day, ask them to come with you. Just be open, be confident, and just talk to everybody. But this is going to lead on to my tip number four. Don't necessarily talk to everybody. Talk to most people, but just keep your wits about you. So tip number four is be safe. So when I say to talk to everybody, obviously you might think somebody is a little bit strange. Don't talk to them. Don't be judgmental, but if there's somebody who's being a bit overconfident, a local, is being a bit over friendly with you, asks you to go back to their house, obviously just use your common sense. Don't be over friendly and confident with people like that. I'm not saying to not trust everybody. The way I work is my family and my friends say I'm too trusting. Maybe I am, but I trust people until they give me a reason not to, which could kind of be the wrong way around of looking at it, but I don't know. I like to be positive. It could be wrong, I don't know, but that's just the way that I am with people. By being too distrusting, you could stop yourself from experiencing some amazing things. One little side note story is when I went to a meditation place for a week, I met this guy who was going to be my meditation teacher, and there was nowhere to go meditate, so he said to me, well, why don't you come back to my house? It's literally around the corner. I can do your first meditation sitting there. Obviously alarm bells were going off in my head, but I just had a really good feeling about this guy, and he said to me like, oh, my boys are there, so you don't mind, do you? My boys and my wife will be there. So that could have been a total lie, but I just had a good feeling. If I had any kind of bad feelings about this guy, I would not have gone. And it turned out to be the best experience ever. They were the most friendly family. I spent a whole week with them. They cooked for me. They took me out for dinner, introduced me to their friends, and if I didn't have them, and in that week, I would have been quite low. I was at a low point in that week, so it was the best thing I did by trusting that guy, and I just used my gut instinct. Obviously, like I said, if I had any bad feelings, I would not have gone, but I had the best experience with them, and that was because I just trusted him a little bit. So another thing for being safe is avoid going out at night on your own. If you're with people, that's fine. You've got other people around you, but I wouldn't recommend going out on your own at night. Again, another little story, for example, when I got to Indonesia, I was totally on my own, and a lot of the sort of place that I was in, a lot of people just wanted to go out and get drunk, and nothing against that, but that wasn't what I wanted to do. But I also didn't want to sit in the hostel on my own, so I went out at night with them, but then I made sure I left at about 11 and just went back to the hostel and chilled out there, because I didn't want to be walking back at like 2, 3 in the morning on my own. I also didn't want to stay out till 6 in the morning with them. So just use your common sense, don't go out at night alone, don't look vulnerable, don't carry things around like your phone, your camera. When you're walking alone especially, don't do that. Which leads on to my next tip, which is number 5, keep your valuables on you. So I would recommend keeping things like your passport, your camera, your phone, anything that you've got valuable, keep it on you, because even if you leave it in the hostel and it's locked, I feel like personally it's got more chance of going missing if it's not on you or with you. It's your responsibility if it's on you. So if you've got your valuables in a bag, I would recommend always just hold your bag. If it's keep it at the front of you. If it's a side bag, keep it at the front. My last tip, number 6, is dress appropriately. So you want to research what the local dress is. If people cover up there, if the women cover up, then cover up. Don't walk around in hot pants and a bikini top, because number 1, it's offensive, and number 2, it draws the wrong kind of attention. So in India, for example, you're not meant to show anything above your knee or your shoulders or your chest. So I just recommend just covering up completely, especially in a place like India. I found that the more flesh you had on show, the more attention you attracted. Men would be taking photos. Even when I covered up completely, men would still be taking photos and still staring. So the more you cover up, the less attention you're going to attract. I wore a headscarf in India, so the only bit of flesh they could see was my hands and my face, and it still attracted attention. So I would just recommend covering up as much as possible. Obviously on the beach, if you're somewhere like Thailand and everybody is in a bikini, then that's fine, then you can be in a bikini. Yeah, that was my 6 tips on travelling alone. I'm sure I could probably go on and on about more tips. I could tell you loads of stories, but I'm not going to, because I like to ramble and this could turn into a half-an-hour video. So yeah, that was my trying to be succinct. Succinct? Succinct, is that a word? I don't even know. Succinct, is that a word? I don't know, trying to be concise. Let's use the word concise. I hope you really enjoyed my tips. If you want to know any more, if you want to ask any specific questions, please leave a comment below, because I love talking to you guys. I don't really get many comments, and yeah, I just love it if you guys talk to me. So yeah, leave a comment below, ask any questions about anything, about travelling, about anything. So yeah. I also did a tips on packing for travelling, so if you want to see that video, I'll leave a link to that below. I also give some tips in that video about travelling as well, not just packing. But if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and I'll know that you like these kind of videos. I'm thinking about doing a budgeting tips video and possibly a planning tips for travelling, so yeah, if you liked it then let me know and I'll do some more tips videos, because I enjoy talking about travelling. So yeah. I think that's all I've got to say, all I've got to ramble about, and I really hope you enjoyed my video. I enjoyed making it, so I'll speak to you all soon.